Peace be upon you. My name is Rashida Siddiq, the Emolligent teacher. Today, I want to talk about how to make the switch to a learner-centered classroom. Now, most of us, in the way we were taught, believed that the teacher knew everything. And we were in school to have the teacher pour in knowledge into us. And thus, we had a very teacher-centric or teacher-centered class. And as we've grown, we've kept our learning and our classroom teacher-centered. The teacher is always talking. The teacher knows everything. The teacher does most of the work. The children are just there passively listening most of the time. And even when we give them tasks to do, it's in a kind of concentration camp sort of way, where we're just forcing them to regurgitate what it is that we have dished out to them. But we need to make the switch. This is the 21st century, and the learners are different. The world is different. We need to switch to a learner-centered classroom. So what exactly is a learner-centered classroom? A learner-centered classroom is one where the learners are the main focus. They are the main actors in the learning. It's a classroom where they get to be engaged. They get to think. They get to actually create knowledge. They get to actually own their knowledge. So how can we do this? We need to make our classroom one in which there are a lot of activities. We also need to try to identify the needs of the learners individually and collectively, so that we can actually make the classroom centered on them, based on their ages, based on their interests, based on their hobbies. When we're able to get this information about the characteristics of our learners, about the things they like, about their various needs, then we can make this teaching and the classroom centered around them. We also need to make sure we have a lot of hands-on activities. We all know that there's that saying, teach me or tell me and I forget, and then show me and I remember, or you let me do it and I remember. So there are those three stages. There's that lecture mode where you're likely to forget. Then there's that demonstration mode where you may remember a few things, but then there's the really hands-on practicals where all of the learning is likely to be remembered and where they're going to make mistakes and learn from their mistakes. So that's a learning-centered class. There should be less teacher talk time and more learner talk time. There should be group interactions. We know that humans are social animals. So why do we force the learners to keep quiet and just listen to us staying still? Why not engage them? Why not allow them to exchange ideas in a friendly atmosphere? Although, of course, being facilitated and guided by you, the teacher. That is a learner-centered classroom. A learner-centered classroom allows the children to be expressive, to share their ideas with each other and with the class. It allows the children to also question what they're being told. It allows them to research for themselves. It's a classroom that has relevant and authentic learning materials. So not just textbook stuff that is never going to be met in everyday life, but things that they can see every day. So you have a kind of guided discovery. Help them to discover things by themselves. Help them to learn things that will be useful to them in their everyday life. Help them to understand why they need to learn all of these things. Then you are centering the learning on them. Sometimes you also need to give them agency. Give them the independence to choose, if not exactly what they're going to learn, then how they're going to learn it. Sometimes you give them the opportunity to choose how they're going to present what they have learned. So do they want an outdoor activity? You can ask them. Do they want to present a poster or a write-up or a video to show proof of learning? That is when you're really having a learner-centered classroom, and they're able to show their individualities. They're able to actually own the learning, and they're going to start loving the learning. A learner-centered classroom is one that also works on projects. So you allow them to work on projects that are similar to things that they will meet in the real world. Sometimes you even take them on field trips where they're able to integrate into the outside world. And then learning isn't just theoretical. Learning isn't just focused on the teacher. Learning is focused on the learners. That is a learner-centered classroom. There's a lot more into knowing about a learner-centered classroom. And the very next thing I think that every teacher that wants to have a learner-centered classroom should do is to try to identify the learner's needs. Thank you for listening. Until we meet again, bye-bye.